Okay, we're going to go over the paperwork printing process on a job that has already been laid out. The first step is going into the engineering folder, finding the job. Then we'll go into the engineering folder within that. And here you can see there is the acknowledgement, the molding report, and a Monarch outsourced item page. All three of those are going to be copied to Paperport. Usually this will be on the second screen, but I can only record one screen here, so I just moved it over. Okay, so now we've got all three of those in Paperport. We're going to physically print the Monarch outsourced item page by using the Paperport printer, printing it to the physical printer in the office. The next step is going to be opening up Cabinet Vision, so we can open up the actual Vision file to get the rest of the paperwork. So open up Cabinet Vision, and then you will come up here and open up the job by the number. And there that is. Alright, the first thing you do whenever you open up the job is you're going to go to the Drawings tab. This is all of the assembly drawings for the whole job. We need to print those to Paperport so we can stack them in our electronic packet. We'll do that first. You can see that they're going to populate in this window right here. And then as soon as you can, print them to the physical printer. This will be what we give to the cabinet assemblers. So here we'll go to the physical printer and print them out. So in Paperport here, what we're doing is creating our electronic packet that will be sent to Kite and saved into the engineering folder that you can see in the jobs in progress. Next thing we'll do is go to the Reports tab, Report Center. In the Report Center, we're going to pick the group drawer box and rollouts. That's the first one we're going to look for. This one should have some drawer boxes, and it does, so we'll go down to the Print Reports in Group tab, which will print everything that's in this list. That will go to Paperport. Okay, so now when that comes up in Paperport, we're going to stack these three. This is a drawer box cut list, rollout cut list, and then checklist. So then we're going to duplicate the acknowledgement right there, stack it on top of that. We're going to change the name to drawer box. Print that using the printer that I used there at the bottom, and we're going to print to the physical printer. Okay, then we're going to copy that into the engineering folder right here. And this is just the electronic copy that's saved into the folder. You can see that it's in there now. Now we're done with that, we can delete that. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to print out all of the other kite and Monarch paperwork. So we're going to use the kite tab in the report group. Everything in here is pretty much everything that kite and Monarch needs. So print reports in group to paper report, and that'll all show up in here. And again, this is going to be everything that kite and Monarch would need, with the exception of the drawer box, which we already did. Okay, in this particular case, there are going to be a couple of these reports that we're not going to need here. That is a secondary door report that we leave in there, but we don't need on this job. This is the molding report that printed out from Vision, which we don't need on a job that's already laid out because we're going to have one saved. It's a material summary. We don't need that when we're just printing. And this is the panel stock cut list, which we don't need when we're only printing. Okay, so now we're left with all of the material, or all of the papers that we're going to need here. So what I'm doing here is stacking the adjustable shelf list and the finish report on top of the itemized list. We're going to duplicate any outsourced paper, place that on top. That's all Monarch stuff right there. Now that we've done that, everything that's left here is all going to kite. This is all the door and frame and molding paperwork. So I'm going to select all of that, right click, stack. We'll go through here real quick and look at what's in here. This is everything that kite is going to need. All their cut lists and checklists for this whole job, for the doors, the frames, and any moldings. Okay, so we're going to stack that, grab it and stack it on top of the assembly drawings. So all of the lists on top of the assembly drawings, along with the acknowledgement. And this is the entire kite packet. This is everything that kite gets right here. Okay, now you can see here in Paperport there's a link to the folder that Kite uses. It's Kite Order on J is what it's called. So we're going to right click and drag that over to the Kite folder and click copy here. Then we're just going to jump in there real quick to make sure that it showed up. And you can see Standerfer right there is what we're looking for. Okay, the next step is we're going to click over through the acknowledgement until we get to that paper right there, and then we're going to stack that other stack on top of that. Now what we have here is the entire paperwork packet that will be saved into the electronic folder. This is what you'd see in the jobs in progress in the engineering folder. Everything that we do will be saved into this stack right here. So we're going to copy that and put it into the engineering folder. So now there's the full electronic copy. So we're going to go in here and now we're going to print out our Monarch packet. Monarch is not going to get any of the drawings or any of the kite cut lists. So what we're going to do is we're going to select all of the things that we don't need and we're going to delete them. So all the way up to the bottom of the itemized list there, and then we're going to keep the molding report. We're going to delete all of the drawings and all of the kite paperwork. So now what we're going to be left with is the packet for prep and for finish. So it's the acknowledgement, any outsourced items, finish report, adjustable shelf list, itemized list, and molding report. Okay, we're going to print two of these, one for finish and one for prep. So we're going to use the PDF printer at the bottom. We're going to click print there, change the printer to the physical printer, print two copies, make sure they're collated. When those are done printing, we are done with that part of the paperwork. Okay, now we can delete that. We don't need that anymore. The next thing that we're going to do is create the driver, dealer, and warehouse packets. So we're going to duplicate each one of those, so we have 3. Duplicate the current page of the driver one, so we have the extra paper for the driver packet. Okay, let's go to the first one. We're going to rename that driver. Open it up. We're going to use the stamp in here. Click up in the corner, click the driver stamp, and we're going to copy that. Go to the last page, paste it on there again. Then we're going to go down this page a little bit and use the select tool. We're going to select some of this and cut it out so we have room for our sign off. So we cut that out, go back to the stamps, customer sign off. Let's select that one. We'll move it into place. Okay, that is the driver packet. Now we're going to do the warehouse pack or the dealer packet, which is just the acknowledgement with the dealer stamp. Now the warehouse packet. Anytime there's an outsourced item, that paper is going to go into the warehouse packet. So I just stacked it right on top of it. You can see that it's in there. Let's go in here and put the warehouse stamp on this one. Alright, now all 3 of these are ready. Let's select all 3 of them. Click the Paperport printer down there. Alright, make sure we're on the physical printer and hit OK. Now that's going to print all 3 of those to our physical printer. Now we need to take the driver packet and we're going to copy that into the electronic folder. So let's select that into the spec folder within the engineering and let's paste it in there, and that's where that goes. So now our electronic folder has everything in it that it's going to have in it. So we can delete those. We're done with all of those. The last step is going back into Cabinet Vision from the large labels report group. We're going to pick the large labels, the cabinet labels. These are the ones that go on the back of the cabinets. And using the printer button at the top, this is already set up to select labels from the physical printer, and they'll print out. These are what goes, they go with the assembly drawings that we printed out earlier for assembly. This is all of our packets in there, the drawer box, the molding report, the outsourced. There's our driver packet. So now what we're going to do, because that's already done, going to go back to the engineering folder, delete any text that was added onto there, and we're going to copy the folder into Jobs in Progress. So right click, drag it to the Jobs in Progress and copy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to check the size of each one of those to make sure that when we copied it, everything looks good before we delete the other one. Okay, and you can see I've got both of them here, the one from the engineering and the one from the Jobs in Progress. We're checking the size on the disk to make sure that those numbers are the same. They look good. So now we can delete the copy from the engineering folder. And that's it. That's how we make the packets for Monarch and Kite.